When you have inconsistent leads to work, that means you're going to have inconsistent production. And when you have inconsistent production, you're going to have inconsistent paychecks or potentially even be out of a job. Hey, welcome to the Insurance Buzz. I am your host, Michael Weaver. I'm flying solo today, and I'm going to be talking to you about the number one mistake I see in prospecting for auto and home and auto and renters insurance. That's what today's episode about. The number one mistake I see when it comes to prospecting, you don't prospect. So that is the common error. That is the common mistake I see. Now I'm going to get into today with not only what you should be doing from a prospecting standpoint, because there's a few mistakes I see, but the number one mistake I see across the board is inconsistent prospecting. Prospecting just doesn't get done. And here's the reason why that is the number one mistake I want to talk about right now and how to fix that is because if you're not doing prospecting, if you're not prospecting on a daily, consistent basis, that means that you are not filling your funnel. You're not filling your pipeline. And if you are not constantly and consistently filling your pipeline, you're going to have inconsistent leads to work. When you have inconsistent leads to work, that means you're going to have inconsistent production. And when you have inconsistent production, you're going to have inconsistent paychecks or potentially even be out of a job. And that is why I want to talk to you today right now about how to increase your prospecting methods to make sure that you are helping more people so that you are making more money, the money that you deserve, and you're crushing your goals. Because it all starts with the upfront part of prospecting to fill your funnel, to fill your pipeline, so that you have enough leads to work, that you're having quality conversations, that you're converting leads out the back door into paying customers, and also giving yourself a lead funnel in the future, 5 months, 6 months, 11 months, 12 months from now to follow up on. That's what today's about. It's going to be short, sweet, to the point. But by the end of the day, I can guarantee you if you do exactly what I'm about to teach and go through, you will have the ability to start filling your pipeline with ideal customers of ways that you may not be doing right now. Because the second common mistake I see when it comes to prospecting is you prospect, but you're only relying on one prospecting source. And what I find across the board is that most sales agents and most agency owners and most managers, this is not on one person in your office, this is on the entire office, that you rely solely on internet leads. Or you rely solely on a center of influence. For example, you have a mortgage broker that sends you leads. All of a sudden, that mortgage broker goes through certain things in his or her life, or maybe the housing market slows down, and all of a sudden, those leads quit trickling in. This is the next most common mistake I see amongst insurance professionals and amongst sales professionals today is if they are prospecting, they rely on one prospecting method. They rely on one source. Are you guilty of this right now? No shame, no judgment. I don't care what you're currently doing. What I'm focused on and what I hope you're focused on is out the front windshield. What is in front of you? Because what you've already done and what you're doing, that no longer matters. That is in the rear view mirror. You cannot change anything you've done in the past. You can only change what your future looks like. And so if you are ready to start crushing your goals, if you're ready to start making more money, if you're ready to start writing more P&C insurance, this is what today is about. Is we're going to actually be going through the importance of having 5. I want you to write that number down right now. 5 prospecting methods, 5 funnels, 5 buckets, however you want to envision this, of where different types of customers or prospects are coming to you. So right now, if you are working internet leads, that is one of your prospecting methods. That is one of your lead funnels. I'm with you. I think it's incredible that your agency owner or manager is buying internet leads, or maybe you're the one buying the internet leads yourself. Maybe you're like, yo, you don't have to buy these leads. I'm going to buy them myself. That's cool too. I love that for you. I love that you have that automatic prospect coming into your office every day that comes straight to your email, comes straight to your phone line. You're talking to them. My question now is what are 4 more prospecting methods? What are 4 more buckets that you can add to your tool belt, to your arsenal, so that you're not reliant on one lead source, on one prospecting method? Because if you are reliant on one prospecting method, I swear to you, without a doubt, you are going to struggle at some point in your sales career, and you may be struggling right now. Are you tired of hearing the price objection at the end of every PNC sales conversation, and you're ready to start overcoming that along with any other objection you hear? I'm going to be doing a free overcoming objections training. Make sure that you click the link below and get registered. I'm going to teach you exactly how to set up your conversation for success, eliminate objections before they come, and even those objections you do get, I'm going to be sharing the exact talk tracks on how to overcome those objections so you can start getting more customers across the finish line. I look forward to seeing you at the free training. You might be saying, these leads suck. Buy me more leads. Give me different leads. Look, the leads don't suck. We've all seen that movie. So now it's talking about how do we get more leads or different leads to you using different methods. So here we go. Internet leads might be 1. I said 1 earlier. Now I'm just going to say 5, 6, 7 off the top of my head right here. So how about this? Internet leads. That's 1. How about, I'm just brainstorming with you. How about centers of influence? I said that one earlier. Car dealerships, mortgage brokers, real estate agents, funeral homes for life. We're talking PNC right now. Apartment complexes. So these are all centers of influence. These are individuals that work with your ideal customer that can send you their ideal customer. So a mortgage broker is sending you home leads. A real estate agent is sending you home leads. A car dealership is sending you car leads. An apartment complex is sending you renters leads. A condo is sending you condominium leads. Y'all get the point here. A center of influence. That is just 2 though. That's just 2 strategies. Now, you could have multiple centers of influence. I think that's fantastic, but that's still just 1 bucket. That's just 1 bucket in the lead gen strategy. You can't just be reliant on centers of influence, because centers of influence you really have no control of. You have no control whether they're sending you leads or not. What if they put you on the back burner one day? What if their family member goes into insurance and they're like, Michael, I like you, but man, I got to support my family over here, bruh. You cannot be hamstrung. You cannot be hamstrung by a lead source. You cannot be handcuffed. So, internet leads, centers of influence. How about cold calling? Calling X-date leads. How about SEO? Paid ads. How about social media, organic posting? How about referrals? How about community events? How about direct mail? How about door knocking? Going into a subdivision of homes that cost over $500,000. Woo! It's a bunch of ideal customers in there. Now you might be thinking, Michael, who still does door knocking? There's a lot of people that still do door knocking. I get door knocked all the time in the spring and the fall, specifically for bug stuff or lawn mowing or whatever, power washing. Not a bad idea. Now, I'm not saying it has to be your idea. I'm not saying it has to be your prospecting method, but what I'm asking you is, what methods are you going to use outside of just the one that you rely on right now to start driving more leads to you, to your office, to your team? If you're a producer right now, how are you getting more leads yourself? What are you doing? As an agency owner or whoever's in charge of the marketing, how are you getting leads to come into your office? So again, I don't care who you are or what seat you're in. You need to be thinking outside the box. Okay, this is how we do it right now, and we're not happy with our production, or maybe we are, but we want more. What do we need to do differently? The magic number here is 5. If you can have 5 new business acquisition strategies going at all times to attract prospects to yourself, to your business, to your career, in my opinion, you are going to be safe. Because even if one of these shuts down, you still have 4. Even if 2 shut down, you still have 3. The likelihood of any more than 2 going dry at the same time out of 5 is very unlikely. So you would still have 3 lead sources coming to you at any point in time. Whereas right now, the most common mistake I see is you're either doing no prospecting or you're only doing one source. When this one source dries up, this one source quits sending you, this one source all of a sudden gets hit with regulations, they get shut down. This one source, all of a sudden their leads turn into crap leads. You're hamstrung, you are handcuffed. So you have to prospect. If you get anything out of this, you have to prospect. That's the number one mistake I see. But number 2, you do not want to be reliant on just one lead source, on just one prospecting method. That is the easiest way for something to happen in the future and you be back to square one with no leads coming in. And so I hope your takeaway today is number 1, I have to prospect. I have to constantly and consistently be filling my funnel. And number 2, I need to be thinking of lead gen strategies. I need to get 5 done over the next 30 days. Who am I going to start networking with? What am I going to do? Now, I just mumbled off 7, 8, 9 different strategies earlier. My goal is for you just to take 5 and run with them. 5, that's it. 5. All right, internet leads. Maybe we're going to also do some social media posts. All right, we're going to work on referrals from our current customers. We're going to work on a center of influence, a relationship with a mortgage broker. And we're also going to do paid ads and SEO. Hoorah, let's go, baby. That's 5 in that example. I hope this was beneficial. No matter if you're an agency owner or producer, you are in charge of driving leads. You are in charge of prospecting. You are in sales. That is part of this. You always have to be consistently filling your funnel, and you don't want to be handcuffed or hamstrung by one lead source. That is the easiest and fastest way to disappointment in the future. Give yourself options. Give yourself options. With that being said, as always, time and attention are by far our most important assets. I appreciate you as always. Go out and make it great.